Welcome everybody to the King County Council's evening budget town hall in Bellevue. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get started today, I'm going to pass it to the former mayor of Bellevue and my colleague, Councilmember Balducci, to welcome us to her district.
Thank you so much, Budget Chair Zahalai. I'd like to welcome everybody on behalf of District 6, which includes Bellevue, Kirkland, Redmond, the Points communities, and Mercer Island, to Bellevue in the heart of District 6. And if you're just visiting us for this King County Council meeting, I want to point out there's some really amazing things going on right here in the heart of District 6. Across the plaza from City Hall, there is a light rail station where you can now get on the light rail and ride back and forth between the Microsoft part of Redmond and all the way down by I-90. In just a few short months, it will cross the bridge and connect to Seattle and then to downtown Redmond. So it's kind of an amazing development here for downtown Bellevue. Also, kind of equidistant from here, north, east, and south, are three permanent supportive housing developments that have been done in a variety of partnerships with King County that are putting roofs over heads of some of the most needy people in all of our county. And it's been a wonderful partnership with the cities of Bellevue, Kirkland, and Redmond. So lots going on here. We are glad to be here to meet with the public as we hear about our county budget. And I want to thank you, Chair, again for the moment to say welcome to the city.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Councilmember. To start things off and just to frame what we're doing here today, we're going to start off with a Budget 101 video for those of you who are new to the King County budget. Hey everybody, I'm King County Councilmember Girmay Zahalai. This year I'm serving as King County's budget chair, and I'm here in a King County Metro bus. For all of you who care about King County services, I'm here to tell you a little bit about the budget. The King County Executive just transmitted his proposed 2025 budget, which funds 1 year of King County services, and it's a $10 billion budget. You probably know our services: King County Wastewater, Metro, Public Health, Parks, Courts, King County Elections. So many things that are an everyday part of the lives of our communities are funded by King County government. But even though it's a large budget, it's actually very, very constrained by the state. The state tells us exactly how we have to spend it. Constrained by ballot initiative. If we put out a ballot measure for crisis care centers, we can't take that $1 billion of crisis care centers money and spend it on parks. And so the places where we can have a lot of flexibility, like the general fund, are having huge issues in terms of budget shortfalls. King County's budget reflects our collective values. We want to make sure that every single person has a home. We want to make sure that people who are going through an addiction crisis have the treatment they need to survive. We want to make sure that people who are living in fear over the threat of gun violence have safe places to live. These are all things that we can capture and fund through the King County budget. We want to make sure your input is involved. The King County Executive goes and meets with all of his department heads and finds out what would it cost you to deliver your service. He takes all of those proposals and drafts a proposed budget. And the way that comes to the council is we get a big 500-page book like this and plops it down on our desk. We're going to spend 2 or 3 months deliberating, engaging our communities, and finally we will adopt a budget probably at the end of November. So that's why it's so important for you to lean in and make your voice heard to make your community a better place. Thank you all for leaning in to make your voice heard, to make your community a better place. So we appreciate you. With that, I would like the clerks to call the roll, please.
Thank you, Chair Zahalai. Councilmember Balducci. Here. Councilmember Barone.
Here.
Councilmember Dembowski.
Here.
Councilmember Dunn.
Here.
Councilmember Mosqueda. Councilmember Perry. Councilmember Updegrove. Councilmember Von Reichbauer.
Here.
Chair Zahalai.
Here.
You do have a quorum.
Great. Thank you all again to all of our colleagues for joining today. Today, we'll provide a little bit of framing, but mostly we're here to listen to you all about the things that you care about. Just like the video said, King County is probably a little bit more of a limited government in terms of our impact locally compared to your city government. We're here at Bellevue City Hall, a place that probably has more jurisdiction when it comes to police power here, land use and zoning, the people who are out there fixing your streets and your lights. That's through your city government. King County has big, broad regional services, so things that impact the entire region, like King County Metro, which spans the entire region, King County Wastewater, the sewer system, which spans the entire region, King County Public Health spans the entire region, our criminal justice system, King County Courts, King County Public Defenders, King County Prosecutors, King County Jail System. Those are all big, broad regional services. And so most of the time, people come and tell us about these regional services and how they can be deployed better to serve you. But really, no limitations on the things that you talk to us about, because we're still your representatives and we want to make sure that we do a good job being your advocates in addition to being responsible for managing these specific regional services. And so I'm going to start off by reading the names of the people who are here in person who signed up. And if you're here and you didn't get a chance to sign up, please talk to Angelica right over there. She will be pointing at a sign-in sheet back there, and then she'll bring me the sign-in sheet, and I'll read your name. And I believe people are going to have how long to speak? 2 minutes? Yeah, 2 minutes to speak. And then we will go to our friends who have joined us online. So I will start off. Actually, before I start reading people's names, do any of my other colleagues want to say a couple words before we jump in, whether online or here? Online? Anybody? Okay. We'll start off, and I apologize for if I mess up your name. Kenya, is Kenya here? Yes. Kenya, please come forward to one of the mics right here. You can press the microphone button in front of you, or if they're just on. Okay, they're just on, and you can begin. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Council members, good evening. My name is Kenya Cosillo, and I am a Bellevue resident. I am here to testify on behalf of Consejo Counseling Referral Services 750,000 one-time appropriation request to implement health and wellness services for homeless, uninsured, and non-Medicaid behavioral health clients suffering from chronic comorbid conditions. Of 2.2 million King County residents, nearly 50% identify as BIPOC, and over 11% of King County residents are members of the Latinx community. These communities disproportionately suffer from a lack of access to integrated medical and behavioral health services. Consejo has over 45 years of experience serving King County residents. This initiative aims to enhance comprehensive service delivery, reduce first responder calls, and emergency room utilization, while addressing healthcare disparities and promote equity. The Latinx community experiences a significantly higher rate of age-related deaths due to untreated health-related conditions. Additionally, those with untreated chronic conditions experience a life expectancy of 10 to 25 years less than the regular population. The CDC reports that chronic diseases account for most illnesses, disabilities, and deaths in the United States. Our strategy aims to change this by focusing on integrated whole-person care. With your support and partnership, Consejo will be able to provide bidirectional care to our most vulnerable populations, transforming our communities and extending clients' life expectancy. This community investment benefits underserved and marginalized communities. Your support for Consejo's 750,000 one-time appropriation request is crucial for the program's success. Consejo is committed to sustain this program after year one. We appreciate your support. Thank you.
Yeah, my name Alex Zimmerman, and today my lucky day. Sie Heil, my 9 Nazi Gestapo anti-Semitic pig, you know what this means from council. And another 7 Nazi Gestapo anti-Semite pig from Bellevue, yeah. I like you all of it because you You all together support Iranian Muslim. It is very important. It is exactly what is I want to talk to you guys about this. This is cost us a ton of money. I mean, this demonstration, anti-Semitic demonstration, what is we have in Seattle, in another city, you know what is mean university, very important. So, because you support officially Iranian Muslim publicly from your council,
Alex.
and publicly in Bellevue, yes, is exactly what is I want to speak.
A member of the council who normally sits here.
No, it's a ton
Put to
of
a stop.
money you spend for this. It is a point.
Alex,
It's
you need
exactly-
to speak to an item related to our
It's
budget.
this cost us a ton of money. Is this exactly what as I speak? This demonstration cost us a ton of money, $1 million. You know this. This is a budget. This is exactly what's happened. But it's okay. But most important, you have a best friend. China support Iranian Muslim, Russian support Iranian Muslim, North Korea support Iranian Muslim, you support Iranian Muslim, Bellevue Council support Iranian Muslim. What is you talking about, guys? You have a group of people what is totally anti-Semite. You understand about your talking? Is this very important? Is this nothing for free in America? Every time what is this happen, demonstration or something like this, form of protest, you know what it means? Anti-Semitic protest is cost us money. It's not for free. It's us money. It's us taxes. It's us budget. So you want to know how much this exactly happened? Give us a figure, because I think this cost $1 million. Demonstration what is we have for last year. Stand up, America. Make America great again.
Next, we have Hind Al-Hinawi. Yeah, we have a word from my colleague, Councilmember Balducci.
Typically at our council meetings, when we are entertained by that hateful and offensive rhetoric from Mr. Zimmerman, our chair likes to state for the record that while the Supreme Court has ruled that he has a right to say those things, we do not have to agree with them, and we don't agree with them, and we reject them outright. He is deeply offensive, but he has the right to come and say the things he wants to say. And I personally think it's terribly impolite for us to come here and accept the hospitality of the city of Bellevue and to not speak out when somebody comes and mistreats one of the members of their council the way he was just doing. It was wrong, and I think it's worth just putting that on the record, and I thank you for the moment to do so.
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilmember. It's great that we don't normalize that. He comes to our chambers all the time and says things like that, but it is important to properly reject that. Am I pronouncing your name right, Hind?
You are. Thank you, Chair Zahalai, members of King County. My name is Hind Al-Hinawi. I'm a community leader and a board member for the Muslim Association of Puget Sound, otherwise known as MAPS, which has proudly served the Eastside community for over 20 years. Our mission is to provide a welcoming space for all, fostering community, supporting education, and essential services. We're excited to present our 2025 expansion plan, which aims to purchase and renovate a 3-building property in Redmond to establish a mosque, a youth community center, a daycare, a school, a health clinic with supportive housing. This initiative is crucial as we respond to the growing needs of our diverse community. The truth is we've outgrown our space currently, and we need to expand. And we're seeking to provide more services through the MCRC, otherwise known as the Muslim Community Resource Center. It's very important to note that all our community services are non-religious and are available and open to all. The property is located in Redmond, encompasses 146,000 square feet on 7.6 acres, conveniently positioned near major routes and the Microsoft campus. This prime location will enhance our outreach and service delivery. We are requesting an investment of $1.7 million from King County to support the renovation of facilities for a community center, housing, healthcare, and youth services. This fund will directly benefit our community by addressing the critical needs that we have in education, health, and social services for all members of King County. We are also pursuing funds from the city, state, and federal resources, as well as over a third of the project's $10 million budget. With your support, we can continue to be a pillar of our community, fostering inclusion and providing vital resources to underrepresented groups. Let's build a stronger, healthier future for all King County residents. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, may I ask, if you haven't yet, would you please email that to us, and specifically to me, since it's in District 6, and I would love to follow up with you.
Thank you. We actually have sent an email
Very
with
good.
the proposed plan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Testimony. Is there anybody here who didn't get called on that wants to give testimony? Okay, let's go to our online friends.
Thank you, Judge Holliday. I have 6 people. Nobody has raised their hand, so if you would like to speak, please raise your hand. Thank you. The first person would be Jody Bardyke.
Yes, thank you so much, council members. My name is Jody Bardyke. I'm the housing director representing Weld Seattle, a nonprofit dedicated to transforming the lives of individuals and families impacted by the criminal legal system across King County. We serve people with mental health disorders, substance use disorders, homelessness, and our mission is to provide safe and clean supportive housing, recovery resources, and second chance employment opportunities to those working to rebuild their lives. Today, I'm here to, in an effort to prevent dozens and dozens of people, members of Weld's community, from exiting into homelessness by the end of this year. In order to do this, we need to raise $3 million to ensure that our members remain safely housed, engaged in treatment, and progressing towards stable family wage jobs. We respectfully request your support for an amendment to the executive's budget to preserve these life-saving resources. At Weld Seattle, we have developed an innovative, cost-effective model of repurposing temporarily donated properties that are waiting on their permits into recovery housing. Today, we have provided housing for almost 1,000 members across more than 110 properties in King County. This model has allowed us to prevent members of the community from exiting prison into homelessness. The stability and support provided by Weld's recovery housing, recovery and employment programs are life-changing for our members. I know this firsthand because I was one of those people once upon a time. Without a safe place to stay or a supportive environment, people exiting the legal system are at much higher risk of returning to jail or becoming homelessness. Our data shows us that we are excellent when it comes to providing the support needed to keep people from recidivating and relapsing. By investing in recovery housing and second chance employment, we're not only helping people reclaim their lives, but are also strengthening public safety and protecting taxpayer dollars. In closing, we respectfully request an amendment to Executive Constantine's budget to support the purchase of recovery housing for the Weld community. This investment will ensure that more people like me have the opportunity to rebuild their lives through stable housing, second chance employment, and a successful recovery in community with others. Thank you for your time and consideration to Council.
Jody, before you go, I didn't get a dollar amount for the request.
$3 million, sir.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Next is Bailey DeLong.
My name is Bailey DeYoung, D-E-I-O-N-G-H. I live on Vashon, where King County is our local government, and I'm chair of the People Power Washington King County team. King County is facing deficits again. Our group has repeatedly asked for transparency in the budgeting process and a base budget analysis of the Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention, Jail Health Services, and the Sheriff's Office, so that we, the public, can understand where our money is going. We want to see limited resources directed towards priorities that align with our county's stated goals and values. But here we are with cuts pending and no way to provide meaningful input. All we know are proposed changes in the budget, and even that information is hard for the public to find. In the past few years, the county has funded alternatives to the criminal legal system, programs like Jody's that work to support people in need and crisis. That work is critical. We know that jail and prison don't provide community safety. They just cause more harm to individuals and community. We also have to keep funding prevention, upstream solutions that reduce the need for criminal legal system involvement. Please adequately fund these areas. Don't cut them in this budget. So thank you so much for your work on trying to figure out how to make the cuts in a responsible fashion. I appreciate your goals. Thank you.
Thank you, Bailey.
Chair Sahalai, that's the last person that has raised their hand.
Okay. Is there anyone else online who wants to give public comment? Please use the raise hand feature now. Anyone?
None.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else in the audience who wants to give public comment? Yes, please come forward and say your name for the record. Yeah, any of those seats.
Thank you for this opportunity to provide input on the county budget. My name is Gary Sampson. I'm a board member and a volunteer court-appointed special advocate with Family Law CASA of King County. I'm also a retired teacher, retired school counselor, and social worker. I come here today to advocate for continued support and no cuts to the King County Superior Court System, especially those parts of our court system that provide judicial access to low-income families, new immigrants and refugees, people of color, people with limited English-speaking skills, and those persons who choose to or need to represent themselves in King County Family Court. Family Law CASA advocates for children from low-income families whose parents are engaged in very complex custody cases in King County Family Court. Our volunteer advocates work to ensure have a secure home life. We work to ensure equity for low-income families in the system. I've been a volunteer with Family Law CASA for the last 7 years. Each year I've devoted about 100 volunteer hours to assist the courts in the family court to make a good determination about the parenting plan for children. And I'll continue, I currently have a case right now. The court staffing levels have not kept up with our increased population. New laws have increased filings for cases of domestic violence. There were 6,400 family law cases filed in 2023. Judges on the family law rotation manage 440 cases per year. Currently, there are delays of up to 8 weeks to simply get a hearing on a family motions calendar. And for some families who are in high dispute situations, that's a long time. For children, that could be a long time to wait. There are family law facilitators funded by the county. In Seattle, they're available 2 days a week to help people who are representing themselves, and limited hours in Kent. Long lines mean some families cannot get the assistance that they need. We hear that from families, even though it's a great service. In family court, children benefit from judges who carefully review parenting plans with a focus on the best interests of children. Children benefit from their parents being engaged in this orderly court process and following Washington law related to parenting plans when they're either separating or divorcing. Children benefit from cases that are heard and decided without lengthy delays and by judges and commissioners who have complete information. All county residents of King County benefit from a well-maintained court system. And I would argue that a well-maintained court system increases our quality of life, just as other aspects of the work that I'm sure you do, from environment to transportation. But a well-maintained, a well-funded court system is also part of our quality of life here.
And Gary, a final thought. That was the time.
Okay, thank you very much. I urge you
Thank
to
you so
support the
much.
King County. Thank you. Sure.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience want to give public comment? Okay, thank you so much, Gary, for those comments and for showing us what's at stake in this budget. We have a very, very challenging budget ahead of us. Our director of performance strategy and budget actually described it as the worst budget in the history of King County. Those were his words. And we're not going to feel the pain of that budget this year fully, but next year is when we really fall off the cliff. We are expecting a $150 million cut from our general fund next year. That I've heard is the equivalent of cutting 400 employees. That's huge. And we're going to do everything in our power for that not to happen. But there's a lot at stake right now. Like Gary mentioned, the court system, mental health courts, for example, are at stake. Our public health clinics, which serve tens of thousands of low-income people who rely on those clinics for their health care, that's at stake. King County Metro over the next few years is going to face some significant challenges as well. And a lot of these issues have to do with the fact that the needs are rising while our revenue sources are falling. We have really huge structural issues at King County where the amount of taxes that we can raise each year is capped at 1% growth every year. But our costs of delivering services, because of inflation, those costs can go up on a best year it's 3% up. But on these past few years when we've had really bad inflation, it's been double-digit inflation while our revenue's only going up by 1%. That's not a good situation. So that on top of the fact that our sales tax projections are down, again, it's going to be a tough year. But when it's a tough year, that's not a call for us to, wash our hands of the situation and give up. We instead have to lean in more aggressively, and we need to hear from you more frequently so that we can make the best possible decisions and make sure that our priorities are in order. And that means showing up to meetings like this, and we appreciate you so much for coming. Thank you to our staff for organizing this meeting. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you to our staff team. And I want to see if any of my colleagues want to say any final words before we close out. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.